Another 1-1 weekend for Echo Fox. Are Saturdays just hard for the team, or are Sundays just special?
Echo Fox come off of yet another 1-1 week, but it easily could have gone 2-0 if not for some, what we're gonna call unlucky play.
All you have to think about it is today is Sunday, and that's it. What do you got?
What did you just say?
You can't win.
You said it's Sunday.
Today is Sunday.
Actually, one of the funniest things I think I've ever had on the team is when you go on stage, you can talk to the other team before you load into lobby. And every Sunday, Rush never fails to announce to the other team that it's been his 30th week, his 31st week, his 32nd week of never going 0-2 in LCS. He always asks them do you guys feel any pressure? Are you worried at all? All this stuff, and I think it actually gets in people's heads. When we formed this roster, one of the things we wanted to do was have a strong baseline for a playoffs team and be able to mold that team into something that would be able to compete with the best. And so consistency plays a huge role in us being a playoff team while also being able to work on the things we need to work on. So consistently every weekend in LCS, we're able to get a win and also try out a new composition or try out a new way to play the game or try out a better way to play the game or push ourselves to be better. And being consistent and having a routine or a system or a way to do things that enables us to perform our best while also working on things is the best way to do that.
Those champions are just better right now. Siers, Siver, Caitlyn are all just really good champions right now.
You basically play a lot of Trist and Ezreal too.
Yeah, I played some Trist.
All their Morgana ADC was counterpicking Ezreal really hard.
I mean,
so
that doesn't sound bad.
Yeah.
But
yeah, we can
too bad I hate Morgana.
So I think, especially when it comes to me and Nick, me and Hakwo, we are labeled normally as consistent. I don't even know if I would really call our team consistent, but we have a consistent record. But in terms of our play, it's maybe not that consistent. I think it's just about making sure that we know the basics when it comes down to League, because that's really what it is as long as we can kind of hone down the basics and focus on our macro, that's really what's going to keep a team consistent. It's not really about those flashy plays and trying to outplay your opponents. That's not really what makes you consistent. That's just trying to maybe push the limit.
Did you guys remember GBM GT?
Yeah, that guy was insane.
I've never seen someone play GP so well. That was
actually he's actually the best GP in the world.
Wait, he's not. He's just the first one who used GP competitively almost.
Yeah, but he's the best GP in the world.
I mean, he's the one who started most of the combos, or at least how to do them well enough.
Yeah, that's why. But I don't think he was super good at GP. He just made
Rush, just give him credit.
Rush,
credit?
do you hate GP?
Yeah.
Rush is the best GP though. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've never lost at GP in competitive.
Do you not like GBM?
Do you not like GBM, Rush?
No, I'm just being honest. My bad for being honest.
Yeah, consistency is really important. I mean, you've got an 18-game split followed by another 18-game split. So you're going to do this 36 times throughout the course of the season. So if you let yourself get too high on the wins, then you'll, obviously you have the chance to get overconfident. And too low the losses allows you not to be bouncing back as much as you'd like to be. So there's a certain amount of elasticity that you have, kind of like your waistband. If you pull it and you stretch it out, it bounces right back. So we kind of have to be like that as well. And as a matter of fact, I get much more excited about the wins and down about the losses than I think the players do.
So going into our C9 match, we know it's definitely going to be the harder of the two matches. C9's looked like a really strong team so far. But based off of how we've been playing, both in scrims and on stage, I feel like our bot side has been one of our big strengths, and I think that could run in our favor if we were able to smash through the bot lane.
Echo Fox and Cloud9 taking each other on here. This will be the third game of the day for week 4, day 1.
And as we've said, Echo Fox has gone 1-1 so far every week.
The Time Boy never goes 0-2.
Coming to that game, we had a game plan of being the team that applies the pressure and being the team that executes and being the team that chooses fights and is very confident about that.
Coming. He can't TP, he can only walk,
Alistair, no flash. Siver's gonna be there first.
I'm coming. Visual fly.
He has no flash.
Kill them.
Hey, there's gonna be an Ura coming from top side, okay?
Okay.
I have stopwatch though.
Syndra no ulti.
their own man out, but the harpoon comes through. It won't find its way down into Solo, and Cloud9 will not get the retaliation they're looking for. Wait.
I think a lot of our losses, we felt pretty confident, even when we lost. Like, it didn't feel like it was a bad loss, but versus C9, we kind of got rolled over, and I don't think we played well at all.
I messed up level 4, so we died, and then they ganked us, so it's kind of hard for us to snowball.
And right here, Zeyzal.
On the hunt, Zeyzal's going in, and Sneaky's on a killing spree. It's 2 dead on the side of Echo Fox immediately, as Licorice will 1v2 and bide his time. The rest of the team has arrived, and Solo goes over the wall. The stun finds its way down onto the enemy mid laner. Phoenix will not escape today. He'll take Svenskeren with him, but he will fall.
I think after that, we just didn't know how to actually fight, how to engage, so we kind of just like let them win.
Solo starting things off, goes into the Gargoyle Stone Plate, both are going to be stuck there. Phoenix keeping himself in the stasis, makes sure he stays alive. Svenskeren booted up, the damage continuing to come down. Licorice getting himself away, but Sneaky is a machine, and he's able to find a double. Zeyzal allows the push to continue, as a follow will fall. It's a triple for Sneaky. They might find even more. He needs another auto attack, and the Quadra is found. The heal is popped, and Sneaky will look to chase him down. Hakuo escapes and denies the pentakill.
Oh boy.
But will Cloud9 go all
Everyone in, get up
They will!
Sneaky, run away!
Sneaky ran away! Sneaky, what the hell? He ran away! It's still a Nexus being taken. It's still a Cloud9 victory, but it's still not a Penta.
They were gonna give him the Penta and
That was an ending.
I think we just need to play better. Like, every lose was plausible, I would say like acceptable. We lost because we played bad. So it's not about like just jinx, it's about we're the team that most likely gonna get 1-1 only.
As a spectator coming into looking at C9 vs Echo Fox on last Saturday, you might think that that game was a huge stomp. But if you look at the game on a closer level, there was actually a lot of moments where the game was extremely close, and actually we were favored for a portion of it because of our item spikes and because of our champions were relatively early game based. Like, fights were either even or favored for us, and if we played them out correctly or if we executed correctly, then we would have been able to take that game.
You know, we weren't too happy about it, but that being said, we still, you know, we went back to the office, reviewed the game, you know, figured out like a game plan that we want to do on 100 Thieves.
I mean, we want to fight, but anyone can't. Did anyone have confidence?
What are you saying our setup was
wrong
before this?
Before this? I thought we could have better setup here though.
No, we could. If you don't go topside at all, and then you go down into this river.
Just listen.
We had full vision of
They should have to be there because we are bars. Just that's all.
Okay.
We are bars or Ash.
Vulnerable ADC.
Yeah. Just
can't
you
deal
have
with
you have to make a creative. Even you're die. Even you're just getting one shot. Have to just make a good creative fighting in here. If you go to the sneak, just can't do anything. Even Ashe too, just can't do anything. Even Caitlyn too. Anyway, we fucked up the early game, right? But we have a chance for LS Siers 3 core, right?
Yeah.
So, just I think the point is I don't want to blame our team, or I think we are just good team, right? Because we just choose the snowballing call. Honestly, just NA teams like wanna do scaling no matter what, but anyway, we try about that. So I believe that it's good. I think even we go to choose the scaling after this matchup, but I'm just pretty sure we did very well.
We're scaling, boys.
Bro, we're scaling.
Yeah, tomorrow we're scaling.
When do you come tomorrow?
Ezreal,
9:45.
So you're sweating.
It would have actually been so nice if we played Team Liquid on Sunday.
We are getting ourselves onto the Rift of battle between teams tied at 5th place. They are on the cusp of playoffs as we close down the first round robin of the group stage. Someday on a first pick, Jay solo counterpicks with the Malphite against a mostly physical damage team. This is going to be an exciting one onto the Rift.
So on Sunday, everyone pretty much had their comfort picks. So you know, when you give Phoenix Zoe and when you give Solo a counter pick, and when you try and dive solo on a Sunday, like things are not going to go well for the other team. 100 Thieves are playing a competition where if they messed up once, especially topside, they were only had a winning topside. So if they messed up at all, it would be really hard for them.
Okay, who pulls aggro? It's going to be the Jace taking the first shot. One turret shot in, kites right back out.
They can't do it now.
They're gonna try anyway. Good flash gets away from the jump. This could be a death on Anda. He's not out of range. Oh, just barely jumps away, but that is flash for 2 for 1 on flashes. And Scylla's gonna grab all of this farm. If this dive worked, it would have been bad, but he survives it.
So Rush is actually heading down to the dragon. We'll see if he can push on to off. Yeah, he's gonna find this.
So he's flashless.
Yeah,
where's the duo lane?
Comes. It's gonna be a 50-50.
They've got Phoenix here first, and has got no way out. He's certainly gonna die. This has to be first blood. Oh, he's gonna get grabbed by Aframu, but he's stunned. He can't get away, flashing away. Oh my gosh, he actually pulls the teammate out, but the Ocean Rig goes to Echo Fox. Still advantage on the red side. Phoenix flashing in for the root, the self-ult as well, but does he buy enough time? A knockup will still mean first blood goes to Echo Fox.
Yeah, so once we had Oceans, we knew we could always just hang around Baron and control vision, and they can never like Jace poke us out. So like Ocean Drake versus Jace is like the worst thing for him because he'll like EQ, chunk us, but like 5 seconds later we'll be fully HP again. So we just kind of sat in our vision. Anytime they would come in, I could flank or like Malphite could engage, so they have to always be scared. And once they have no flashes, we just fight and win.
Damage, and then after that flash, he was out of range. Solo flashes in for the Q, not taking up someday, but where can Jarvan go? A nice knockback buys some time. Phoenix tries again, nice flash wave, but now they're getting the dunk. Arrow's not gonna land either, but it's still 3v1. There's the bubble, certainly a kill. The aggro comes in, Phoenix and Rush gonna walk away. 2 kills on the top side, 4-0 to Echo Fox.
Sunday we moved towards our comfort and we played a competition that we feel really confident in, and we also, in my opinion, we outdrafted 100 Thieves pretty hard. So it was all in the players' hands in a favorable situation, and when it's like that, it's a pretty easy win for us.
In the 29th minute, Rush goes in for the double knockup. Malphite follows alongside the Alistar, and it's a slaughter. Phoenix trying to run, he gets away from Someday. Guardian Angel popped, and look at this, there's only so much damage left in the lineup. A double kill for Solos. Malphite, the first of the year, and a 29-minute win. Echo Fox 4-4.
Absolutely dominating performance here today from Echo Fox as they really just decimated 100 Thieves there. It felt like nothing the 100 Thieves were trying was working.
No flashlight. God damn, did we fuck them up.
So overall, really happy with the result of the game. As far as the play goes, you know, there's little things that could be a little bit more consistent and overall a little bit better. But as a whole, happy, you know, we win another 1-1 week. We're 4-4 now. We finished, or next week we will finish the first half of the split. And the team really took what we taught them yesterday and kind of drilled into them after the match that, you know, you have to be pushing the advantages and taking advantage of what our comp is good at. And we did that on stage and we were able to execute on that.
I would say we've been really pushing ourselves to become better and better each weekend. And some weekends we come into LCS weekend with a plan of we're going to push ourselves to do what teams should be doing in the NALCS right now. Mostly in NALCS, teams are just looking to scale and try and play for late and have a team composition that doesn't lose once the game hits 35 minutes.
Going 2-0, it's important, but it's not as important as maybe some other teams where they maybe are struggling for playoffs right now. I think we're not solidified playoffs right now, but we're on a pretty good track to get to playoffs. So it is more important that we are just focusing on building our team up and like making sure we're prepared for those, you know, the playoff game.
I even see it, you know, you go after a loss. I talked to the guys yesterday, I ran into Phoenix and Rush after the loss yesterday, and they were getting their ride on the way home, and I said, where are you guys going? You want me to take you home? And they go, no, we're going to the office. I go, why are you going to the office? I said, we're going to practice. We just lost, we got to win tomorrow, so we're dedicated. So consistency is about emotion, but it's also about your dedication to craft too, and all our guys, they got it in spades.
I mean, yeah, Rush's curse, blessing, yeah, one of the two. It's fun. You know, I think it does maybe put pressure on the enemy team, knowing that we play them Sunday, which is, you know, it's fun. But I think all of us are not like sick of it, but we're like, we want to get the win on Saturday because it's really what's going to pull us ahead, right?
We want to be always pushing ourselves. So on Sunday, we played a scaling competition just to make sure that we got the win against 100 Thieves, and we looked great. So I wouldn't be too worried about the status of where Echo Fox is right now because we're very clearly a good team and a playoff team, and when we challenge ourselves, that's where we might slip up and maybe get a loss, and maybe that happens on a Saturday more often than a Sunday. But I think in general, I wouldn't be too worried about our Saturday, Sunday flops. it's definitely not we only win on Sundays and we never win on Saturdays. It's more we're really pushing ourselves to be a really good playoff team, and we know that we're in a pretty good spot right now.
Well, I was really proud of everyone's performance but Hawkwell's. So I thought that he really underperformed for primarily most of the game, but especially in the early, mid, and late game. And then also the post game, some of the interviews sucked too. So I think everyone played well. Hawkwell could have been better in the early game. He had a bad champ select, and also the mid game he had lacked priority. And then yeah, his diction in his interviews was not very good.
I'm going back to clutch.
Oh!